So next point, as far as active listening is concerned, repeating. The purpose of repeating is to highlight keywords or phrases that indicate you have identified the most critical component of the message. The customer is saying the phone number where you can reach me during the day is area code 800-551-7355. So the tone of understanding is 1-800-551-7355. So tone of expectation for additional information 551. So repeating is a summary of what has been said back to the speaker. It is a technique used by the listener to repeat what has been said in their own words. Summarizing involves taking the main points of the received message and reiterating them in a logical and clear way, giving the line speaker chance to correct if necessary. So next point, as far as active listening is concerned, paraphrasing. So what is paraphrasing? It is stating in your words your understanding of what you heard. So customers say, I sent in the check 2 weeks ago, and when I got my statement, I found that the amount was not credited. So paraphrase for what the customer has said, that can be, so you made a payment 2 weeks ago and it has not reflected on your statement. So as a customer servicing person, one has to paraphrase the statement expressed by the customer. So customer is saying that I sent in check 2 weeks ago, and when I got my statement, I found that the amount was not credited. So here, by repeating the same sentence but not in the same way, but at the same time trying to understand what the other person has said, so that is paraphrasing. So it will look like, so you made a payment 2 weeks ago and it has not reflected in our statement. So that is how it is being understood. So it is important to paraphrase when you want the speaker to know that you understand. So paraphrasing involves using other words to reflect what the speaker has said. Paraphrasing shows not only that you are listening, but that you are attempting to understand what the speaker is saying. It is often the case that people hear what they expect to hear due to assumptions, stereotyping, or prejudices. When paraphrasing, it is of utmost importance that you do not introduce your own ideas or question the speaker's thoughts, feelings, or actions. Your response should be non-directive and non-judgmental. It is very difficult to resist the temptation to ask questions, and when this technique is first used, reflecting can seem very stilled and unnatural. You need to practice this skill in order to feel comfortable. Paraphrasing is restating the speaker's thought in your own words. For instance, I think you are saying that, or it sounds like you are saying. This is so they know you understand, in which case they can clarify for you. Paraphrasing is a way of using different words and phrasing to present the same ideas. Paraphrasing is used with short sections of text such as phrases and sentences. A paraphrase offers an alternative to using direct quotations and allows you to integrate evidence or source material into assignments. Paraphrasing can also be used for note taking and explaining information in tables, charts, and diagrams. When to paraphrase? Paraphrase short sections of work only, that is, a sentence or two or a short paragraph, as an alternative to a direct quotation. To rewrite someone else's ideas without changing the meaning. To express someone else's ideas in your own words. Next, to support claims in or provide evidence for your writing. So how to paraphrase? Read the original source carefully. It is essential that you understand it fully. Identify the main point and keywords. Cover the original text and rewrite it in your own words. Check that you have included the main points and essential information. Write the paraphrase in your own style. Consider each point. How could you rephrase it? Ensure that you keep the original meaning and maintain the same relationship between main ideas and supporting points. Use synonyms, that is, words or expression which have a similar meaning wherever applicable or appropriate. Keywords that are specialized subject vocabulary do not need to be changed. If you want to retain unique or specialist phrases, use quotation marks like invert quotations. Choose the grammar and sentence structure. Break up a long sentence into two shorter ones or combine two short sentences into one. Change the voice, active or passive voice, or change word form, example, nouns and adjectives. Change the order in which information or ideas are present as long as they still make sense in a different order. Identify the attitude of the author to their subject, that is, certain, uncertain, critical, etc., and make sure your paraphrase reflects this. Use the appropriate reporting word or phrase. Review your paraphrase to check it accurately reflects the original text but is in your words and style. Record the original source, including the page number, so that you can provide a reference. Next to paraphrasing is clarifying. What is clarifying? It is used to gain a clearer understanding of the speaker's situation and to move the conversation from broad generalizations to specific facts. Suppose if the customer is saying, I sent in a check a few weeks ago, but it still has not been credited on my latest statement. That means the customer is saying, I sent in a check a few weeks ago, but it still hasn't been credited on my latest statement. So here the clarification question can be, when did you make your last payment, or what was the date on your statement? So to understand what the customer is trying to say or ask, based on that certain questions can be put forward where it should be understandable and explainable. So clarifying involves asking questions to make sure that you understand. For example, can you give me an example of that, or such and such is important? Can you help me understand what that means to you? In communication, clarification involves offering back to back or back to the speaker the essential meaning as understood by the listener of what they have just said, thereby checking that the listener's understanding is correct and resolving any areas of confusion or misunderstanding. Clarification is important in many situations, especially when what is being communicated is difficult in some way. Communication can be difficult for many reasons. Perhaps sensitive emotions are being discussed, or you are listening to some complex information or following instructions. Clarifying can involve asking questions or occasionally summarizing what the speaker has said. A listener can ask for clarifications when they cannot make sense of the speaker's responses. Sometimes the messages that a speaker is attempting to send can be highly complex, involving many different people, issues, places and or times. So clarifying helps you to sort out and also to check the speaker's position or speaker's priorities. Through clarification, it is possible for the speaker and the listener to make sense of these often confused and complex issues. Clarifying involves genuineness on the listener's part, and it shows speakers that the listener is interested in them and in what they have to say.